listening. Brought to you by the all-new 2015 Honda Fit. Fit your lifestyle, fit your fun, fit whatever. And by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Welcome to Boston, Massachusetts on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. This will be the final game between these two ball clubs this 2014 season. It is 24 degrees, and after the big thunder and lightning storm last night, it has cooled off dramatically, and there's no humidity. Couldn't ask for a better day. Take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays trying to salvage the final game. They have lost 2 one-run games here in Boston. Jose Reyes, top of the order. Bautista moves into the second spot, and he's got a 10-game hit streak. 6 home runs during those 10 games, a .333 average. Bautista, as we mentioned earlier, 19 home runs in this ballpark. Ryan Goins against the Red Sox put up good numbers this season, a .353 average. He's hit 3 doubles, a triple, and he's driven in 7 runs. He is anxious to grab a hold of this starting job at second base.
He'll have to face Ruby De La Rosa, who gets ready for his 16th start of the season, starting here at Fenway Park for the 8th time. He's facing the Blue Jays at Fenway Park for the first time since July the 29th. He took the loss in that game, 3 runs, 9 hits over 6 innings. This is his 4th start of the year versus Toronto, his most against any team.
Misses with that first pitch to Reyes, and we are underway. The Blue Jays wrapping up their season against Boston. They'll win the season series. They have a 12-6 record against the Red Sox overall, 6-2 here at Fenway Park. Outside, it's 2-1.
De La Rosa's fastball performance over his last few starts has not been very good. He is on a pitch count today, and they really want to protect this young pitcher's arm. He has thrown a lot of innings this season. He's made a lot of starts. It's a full season in the big leagues. He had 95 pitches in his last start against Tampa Bay, so that's about where they're going to end up this afternoon with him.
Off-speed pitch, and Reyes strikes out. De La Rosa strikes out Reyes to start the game. Let's take a look at the defense behind Ruby De La Rosa. Daniel Navas in left field. Jackie Bradley Jr. is in center field. First start in this series. Mookie Betts moves to right. Middlebrooks and Bogarts on the left side of the infield. The Gold Glover, Dustin Pedroia at second. Alan Craig starts at first base. And Christian Vasquez, a very good-looking young catcher behind the plate.
Yeah, that's Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field, and he can go get him. He's only played 113 games this year, but he has 13 outfield assists, and he hasn't made an error all season long.
Jose Bautista takes one down and away. Bautista 2 for 7 against De La Rosa. He hit his 30th home run of the season here Friday night. A 2-run shot in the 6th. One of 2 home runs the Blue Jays hit Friday night. Inside corner for his strike.
He'll throw his changeup. De La Rosa right there. That was a 2-0 changeup. And he's not afraid to throw it to the right-handers if need be. That time he took a little something off there, and Bautista fell behind.
Missed inside. Looked like it was the same pitch, but this was off the plate. 3-1 to Bautista. Big swing, and he fouled it straight back. He had a pitch he thought he should have hit.
3-1 fastball, and Jose took a mighty swing at that one. He's better when he is under control just a little bit more and making sure he catches the ball out in front. But he loves hitting in this ballpark. 31 career home runs versus the Red Sox, 19 of them right here.
Fouls this one off. That'll reach the seats out of play. Bautista's numbers in this ballpark, he has a .294 average. You mentioned the 19 home runs. He has 50 hits here in 46 games. Pretty good barometer. You can get a hit for every game you play. You're having a pretty good run against a team.
And remember, the teams that he was going up against, the Red Sox, they've won some championships, and they've had some good pitchers.
Look out, Luis Rivera. He had to get out of the way quickly. They're a base coach. That's why they wear those helmets. Those balls come rifling down there, and we have added that level of protection for the coaches. Full count pitch. Popped up. Middlebrooks battling the sun. He is there and makes the catch. He got that glove up quickly to shield his eyes from that bright sun.
Ruby De La Rosa got his big league career off to a great start. First 7 starts, they were just hitting .250 off of the fastball. His last 8 starts, though, that has been the problem. He has been using it more. They're hitting .333 against that fastball. They're also slugging at a higher rate against the fastball. His ERA is better. Fastball's been hit hard, and he's throwing it more, so you might see him use his changeup a little bit more this afternoon.
Those numbers jump more than likely because of hitters finding out a little bit more about De La Rosa. Two and 0 to Edwin Encarnacion. He's batting third in the absence of Melky Cabrera. Cabrera hit second all year long for this team. Pulled foul. Edwin, 30 home runs and 81 RBIs. Terrific numbers once again for a guy that missed about 6 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, it's the home runs. And he, like a lot of the home run hitters in baseball, when he starts to hit them, you're going to see a lot of them.
That young lady down there, the ball girl, has had a busy afternoon already. She'll make a lot of friends down there if she keeps that up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a drive to the alley in right center. Mookie Betts slides over and makes the catch. Quick inning for Ruby De La Rosa. R.A. Dickey will take them on to make his 6th start of the season against the Boston Red Sox. Farrell's Boston Red Sox. Mookie Betts is the leadoff man. And in his last 14 games, he's hit .333. He has really turned things around his second time he's been up to the big leagues. Called up on August 18th, and he's put up big numbers. And Will Middlebrooks has good numbers against R.A. Dickey. 4 extra base hits, including a 2-homer game at Rogers Center 2 years ago. Last year, actually. And Dickey has had his best knuckleball of late. He's going to be a real test for the Boston Red Sox today.
He certainly has had a good knuckleball his last 2 times out. 30th start of the season for R.A. Dickey. This is 4 consecutive seasons that he has had 30-plus starts. Faced the Red Sox 4 times already this year. He's 3-0, and the last time he pitched in this ballpark here at Fenway Park, 3 hits over 7 innings. That was back in July when the Blue Jays won that game 14-1.
Yeah, this is the 5th start of the season for R.A. Dickey, and he throws the first pitch strike to Mookie Betts. Now it's 0-2. We mentioned Dickey's knuckleball last time. It was hard, and boy, was it moving. It was moving late, and it was moving dramatically against the Tampa Bay Rays. There's another good knuckleball this time. Josh Tolle gets on it and throws to first. That was the same way his last start.
The last two starts, if you remember that. He had struck out the first batter and on a good hard knuckleball, and he reached first base. Same way down in Tampa. And now here, this ball handcuffs Josh just a little bit, but he pounces on it. Gets on that one quickly for the first down.
Well, that's another good indicator how good that knuckleball is. Tolle has handled Dickey for the last several seasons, and he knows all about catching that knuckleball. Daniel Nava moves up into the 2 spot. Nava is starting in left field this afternoon. There's a fly ball into right. Bautista gets in down the warning track and makes the catch. 2 down. So Dickey's throwing strikes early in this ball game, and you take a look at the defense. It's the same starting lineup in the outfield we saw. Pilarcos and Bautista last night. Pilar is playing in left field for just the 3rd time. Valencia, Reyes, Goins, and Lynn from 3rd to 1st around the infield, and Josh Tolle making his 36th start behind the plate.
We've already talked about the great knuckleball that Dickey has had the last couple of times out. You and I were talking to Josh after those games, and he was just rolling his eyes, saying there's nothing I can do about those knuckleballs when they are moving like that. But he has done a great job this year catching R.A. Dickey.
Dustin Pedroia just 4 for 24 against Dickey. He has a home run. For the season, batting .280. Still trying to come back from the impact of that offseason surgery he had on his thumb. Reaches forward and fouls it out of play. Boy, Dickey's off to a good start. He's able to throw a lot of strikes, and he has forced the Red Sox, who are normally very patient, to step in swinging. 8
pitches, 8 strikes, and he has gotten ahead of these guys. He'll get the 2 strikes, and then he'll throw that hard knuckleball. Try go for the strikeout.
And that's the one Josh Tolle really loves. And Dickey can throw it hard. Boy, it looks like it wiggles when he throws it so hard.
Yeah, it shakes.
Yeah, it's got late movement. It really does dance. A little softer one at 64.
64 miles an hour. The changeup knuckleball.
Pedroia jumps on that high pitch and rips it to left field. It's a 2-out single for the second baseman.
Well, R.A. Dickey's knuckleball, he's in a tough test right now against the Red Sox. You can see what he does against the rest of Major League Baseball. Just a .215 batting average, but there's something about the Red Sox. Maybe it's the patience that they have at the plate. A .264 average, he's going to have to figure that out. I think they're catching, or Dickey's catching him at a good time, because his knuckleball we've never seen it better this season.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you see what the Red Sox have done against him, but he is 3-0 against Boston. That's ground ball. Valencia goes to second. That'll end the inning, and Dickey is out of the first. We played an inning in Boston on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. It's a scoreless game. Adam Lind will start things off when we come back. stop by Rogers Center and check out the Blue Jays in September. The Cubs will be in town tomorrow night for a 3-game series. A little interleague play with the Chicago Cubs. Then on Friday night, it'll be Tampa Bay for a weekend series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Blue Jays go out on the road to Baltimore and New York, return home to face the Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles. Great way to wrap up the season. Adam Lynn facing Ruby De La Rosa. He is just 1 for 3 against De La Rosa. This is a high fly ball. Mookie Betts is in right field this afternoon. It is a bright sun and a pretty much cloudless sky, and the wind is blowing around here. There could be some adventures here this afternoon.
And then later in the game, that right field becomes the sun field, and it gets very tough to play. Sun sets in a couple of hours or so. That's going to be right over Fenway Park. You can see in the right fielder looks right up into that sun.
Danny Valencia playing in his 34th game with the Blue Jays. He's hit a couple of home runs since he's joined the Jays. For the season, he's got 4 homers and 21 RBIs. Off the end of the bat, Bogarts takes the short hop, throws to first. 2 quick outs here in the second.
Pattern right now for Ruby De La Rosa, he's getting ahead with the fastball, and then he's throwing the changeup. It's going to be a big pitch for him this afternoon.
The picture on the left is what we were dealing with last night about the start of the game. The game was delayed an hour and 12 minutes, and it really never rained here, but there was a lot of lightning and thunder in the area, and they asked the fans to take cover underneath the roof here at Fenway Park. But it's a much different day today.
Oh, it's a gorgeous day today, isn't it? This is what baseball is all about.
Josh Tolley, the catcher, takes a strike. Fenway Park opened up in 1912, and they've done a great job of preserving the integrity of the playing surface. There haven't been too many changes to the playing surface itself. The seats have crept closer to the field. They've added rows of seats around the bases from third to first, but overall the dimensions are exactly the same as they were when Babe Ruth and Ted Williams played here. Tolley hits it hard to left field. Daniel Nava just in front of the warning track. The Blue Jays are down in order. So far so good for Ruby De La Rosa. 6 up, 6 down.
lifestyle, fit your fun, fit whatever.
That is Inside the Scoreboard. It's good to be king. Tom Petty and many, many visitors to Fenway Park have gone inside the scoreboard and signed their signature, autographed the scoreboard, if you will, inside there. That is an iconic part of this ballpark. And everybody remembers the 75 World Series and the shot of Carlton Fisk waving that home run ball fair. And it was shot out of that scoreboard. Great director Harry Coyle, who did so many baseball seasons, said, you know what, why don't we put a camera in that scoreboard? And boy, what a great stroke of genius that was.
Got one of the most iconic shots in all of baseball. Yeah, big home run by Fisk. When did you sign inside there?
Oh, I've signed it 3 or 4 times. There's a line drive. That's going to be a one-hopper to Kevin Pillar as Xander Bogaerts. Yet another hit. 22 hits against the Blue Jays. Leadoff single here in the second. Once again inside that scoreboard, and you can see those numbers that are manually placed on the scoreboard in little slots, and those are the lights, that yellow part of that, the lights on the scoreboard that indicate the number of balls and strikes and outs here. That ball hit him. Alan Craig hit by a pitch, so the first 2 reach here in the second.
That was the problem that R.A. had in his last start down in Tampa Bay. The knuckleball was moving so much. He was saying that he was having trouble keeping it in the strike zone. He hit a couple of batters, and this time he plunks Alan Craig right on the elbow.
He hit David DeJesus in the second after walking in on Escobar, and then hit Escobar in the fourth. Remember, he hit David DeJesus right on the finger. So Dickey in a bit of a jam here early. Comes back and throws a strike to Will Middlebrooks. There's a high fly ball down the right side. Reyes, the shortstop, makes a nice catch as he stayed with that ball. 3 defenders were converging on that pop-up, and Reyes made the catch just inside the foul line.
Yeah, it wasn't hit very hard, or excuse me, high. So Pillar had no chance at it. The best was the angle that Jose Reyes was taking for that ball. It was actually a fair ball. Down the line, really no chance for Pillar. Reyes with the good angle makes a nice play for the first down.
So there's 1 out. Number 8 hitter is Jackie Bradley Jr. starting for the first time in this series. Goes after that first pitch. Jackie Bradley Jr. has struggled with the bat. A .216 average for the season. 19 doubles, a couple of triples, and a home run. Gets this ball into center, goes back on the warning track. He is up against the wall and makes the catch. The runners retreat, and Bogaerts fakes for break to third as that ball got away from Reyes. Jackie Bradley Jr. gave it a ride, but it's the second out of the inning.
If he could hit 250, he would be an asset for any ball club, I think, because his defense is so good in center field. Hitting just .216 coming into this game, he's going to have to learn to, I think, shorten his swing, hit more line drives, get the ball on the ground just a little bit more, and use the speed.
Coming into this season, he had a .297 career average through the minor leagues. So there is some potential with the bat there. This guy's got potential with the bat. Christian Vasquez, the young catcher. Vasquez just missed hitting his first major league home run here last night in the 4th inning. Hit it off the top of the wall off of Jay App for an RBI double. The Red Sox are in a position. Remember, they started the season with H.A. Pierzynski behind the plate. Pierzynski started 60 games for Boston, and then it just wasn't a good fit. John Farrell knew it wasn't going anywhere, so they cut Pierzynski loose, and wouldn't you know it, he landed on his feet in St. Louis after Yadier Molina broke his thumb. Cardinals signed him, and now Molina is back, and Pierzynski is a backup catcher coming off the bench.
Which is pretty good, because he's a guy who goes out there and swings it early. He's going to be an asset for that team. But he was here, David Ross was here, and they had a couple of young kids in the minor league system. Well, one of them is here right now, Christian Vasquez, and I think he's here to stay. He's got a lot of energy. He brings it every single day. You just watch him and his mannerisms around home plate when he's got the gear on. I mean, he looks like a big league catcher.
Ground ball. Valencia looks to second, goes across the diamond in time to get Vasquez. So Dickey gets out of a situation, first and second, nobody out. Strands a pair. It's scoreless after 2 at Fenway. Fighters across Canada in the new WWE Netpack subscription package. Relive epic WWE moments with hours of on-demand content and every live pay-per-view. Available on Rogers Channel 512. If you're not a Rogers customer, call your local service provider and let them know you want it, or visit WWE.com for more information. We move to the third. It'll be the bottom third of the Blue Jays lineup. Kevin Pillar, Ryan Goins, and Anthony Gose. De La Rosa has shown a different approach than we have seen from him in the past.
Yeah, it's not all power right now, the first couple of innings here. He'll show his fastball, then he'll follow it up with a changeup.
And then that fastball seems a little bit harder. 93 looks like 98. Well, you know, you get your brains beat out for a while, and you have to figure out something different.
Yeah, he's got to change something, because the Blue Jays have really hit him hard. 0-2 this year. He does have no decision, but he only lasted 4 2/3 innings and gave up 7 hits in that game.
Kevin Pillar is starting to feel it. He gets a leadoff single here in the third. That's the first base runner for the Blue Jays.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical expert sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Beautiful Fenway Park, and they have a lot of statues outside the ballpark, and that's a statue of the great Ted Williams placing a hat on the youngster's head outside the ballpark. Ryan Goins takes a pitch down and in. Goins started in the game, had a couple of strikeouts before he was lifted for a pinch hitter. Up and away. What do you like about Goins' bat now, seeing him at the end of the season compared to where he was at the start of the season?
I think early in the season it looked like he was swinging too hard. Don't you think so? He was trying a little bit too hard, and that's just natural, I think, for a young player, that he wants to impress the management and the coaches here. I think he's a little bit more aggressive. He's not swinging as hard, but I think he's a little bit more aggressive. He's seeing the ball, and he's saying, you know what, I'm just going to let it go.
He certainly played well in the field, and there's no question about his skills defensively. The Red Sox have made note of that. They have commented about how well he plays at second base.
Also changing their philosophy a little bit of how they're going to pitch to him. They were throwing him fastballs and he was hitting them hard. Now it looks like they're trying to throw off speed pitches to him. That was a 2-1 changeup at 86 miles an hour to Ryan Goins. It's got to come with the fastball now, I would believe.
Especially where you are in the batting order. Number 8 hitter. Ball 4. So the Blue Jays have something going against Ruby De La Rosa. The first 2 reach here in the 3rd. And De La Rosa has a big arm, and he's a young guy that's got a lot of upside, but lately he's gone through a little bit of a rough patch.
The opponents are hitting 345 against him, and the pitches per inning, they've got to get that down. 19 is by far way too much for him. He's not going to stick around very long. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fastball command. If he commands that, and he can use his curveball and the changeup off the fastball, he's going to be fine. But there's no doubt he's got a big league arm.
He was part of that big trade with the Dodgers as they look for the future, and he and Alan Webster, 2 of the young pitchers we have seen in this series, are both former Dodgers. De La Rosa signed with the Dodgers as a free agent in 2007. He's only 25 years old. And John Farrell, a former pitching coach, now the manager, certainly understands the value of a power arm. Anthony Ghost, the number 9 hitter. Red Sox are looking for the bunt. Middlebrooks at 3rd, Craig at 1st, in on the grass. Ghost bunts it and jabs it foul.
You've got speed on the bases, so if you are going to continue to sacrifice, it doesn't have to be a perfect bunt. Just get it down, get it away from the pitcher enough where one of the corner infielders will field it, and with the speed on the bases, you'll be successful. Anthony that time looked like he was in between sacrificing and maybe dropping a bunt for a hit.
Boy, there's a good bunt. Vasquez goes to 3rd. What an athletic play. Christian Vasquez. We told you he reminds you of Pudge Rodriguez, and a play like that backs that up. Boy, he came out of the chute quickly and grabbed the ball barehanded and threw to 3rd to get the lead runner.
You know what? That in baseball you just can't teach. That is baseball instincts right there. It looked like it was going to be a sacrifice bunt and a play over at first base, but Vasquez had other ideas. Look how quickly he comes out, grabs it with his bare hand, throws it on the run, and accurately over at 3rd base to get the runner at 3rd base.
Yeah, and when you see the top-rated catchers, they're all athletes. They're guys that can move around. They might not have great foot speed, but they're athletic and quick. He got out behind the plate quickly and made a key play. Back to the top of the order, Jose Reyes struck out his first time up. Reyes goes after the first pitch. He does that a lot. .280 average for Reyes. He was up over 290, creeping toward 300 not long ago, but he's slipped back a bit. Promising start to this inning. Pilar singled to center, Goins walked, and then Anthony Ghost bunted into a force out. So the double play is still in order for the Red Sox. Reyes stays alive as he slaps at that pitch up and away.
I still can't get over that play by Vasquez. That was a super play. When it was bunted, I'm like, okay, second and third, Reyes is going to hit. He came out of there so quick and confident, like he knew what he wanted to do all the way.
He took charge, that's for sure. 0-2 to Reyes. Drilled to right field, and Mookie Betts makes the catch. The umpire at first indicating he caught it fielding Colbert. The first base umpire went out and had a good look at it.
Some of the young Red Sox flashing some leather right here. Wow, first Vasquez to get the runner at third base, and then Mookie Betts, a converted infielder, broke quickly.
Take a look at it and see if he gets that glove under the baseball before it hits turf. Looked like a catch. Sometimes those balls will short hop into the glove. The Blue Jays were questioning it, and they felt like there was not enough evidence to go out and challenge the play. So now Bautista will have to deliver with 2 outs. Fielding Colbert, the first base umpire, never hesitated. He called the catch immediately. De La Rosa now with a chance to get out of the inning. Same start that Dickey had in the bottom of the second. First 2 reached, and then he got 2 outs, and Dickey was able to strand a pair. Bouncing ball up the middle. Bogarts flips to second, not in time. Alvin Porter called Pedroia for being off the bag, but I don't know that Ghost didn't beat the throw to second anyway. Porter, the second base umpire, indicating that Pedroia didn't have contact with the bag, but Ghost, to his credit, hustled into second.
Yeah, I thought Bogarts would have been better off going over to first base, but he throws behind him, and you can see that clearly. Pedroia is off the bag trying to grab that ball barehanded. He's got a great arm at shortstop, and his momentum was really taking him away from second. All he had to do was spin around and fire to first base. But the Blue Jays will take it and now need another 2-out hit.
Bautista credited with an infield hit. Bases loaded now for Encarnacion. Down and away. Edwin finished up last night's game 2 for 3 with a walk. He was lifted for a pinch runner in the 8th inning. His spot in the lineup would come up with 2 outs in the 9th, and Juan Francisco grounded out the first to end the ballgame. Bases loaded for Encarnacion. He has 6 career grand slams. This one's a liner down the right side, but well foul into the seats. Encarnacion and Bautista both hitting their 30th home runs on Friday night. .321 average to go along with those 6 grand slams, and this is one of the most potent power duos in baseball.
No easy spots when you're trying to get through these guys right here. You're going to have to execute your pitches. De La Rosa and Vasquez want to talk about it here. It was De La Rosa who called out his catcher.
Yeah, De La Rosa was on the rubber and then had some second thoughts and called out Vasquez and wanted to talk things over. The final decision, of course, is in the pitcher's hands. He's the one who's got the baseball. He has to have a clear conscience about what he's going to throw. Wanted that fastball and missed inside.
He was reaching back for a little something extra right there.
If I'm Encarnacion right now, I'm looking off speed. That has been the pattern that De La Rosa has established early in this game. Two balls, 2 strikes. That's a fastball. He got it in a good spot.
88 miles an hour.
What's the changeup?
Yeah, took a little something off. That one was a little bit harder. Just 88 miles an hour after that 97. We have seen that changeup anywhere between 82 and now 88 miles an hour for De La Rosa.
Another foul back. We're seeing a lot of different velocities from De La Rosa, and that's a real art. I don't think anybody did it better than Pedro Martinez.
Oh.
I did several games with Pedro where I would take a survey of all the pitches watched during the course of the game, and he never threw two pitches at the same velocity in an inning. Everything was different.
His
fastballs, curveballs, everything.
His changeup at different speeds, the fastball.
It's such a great feel for pitching. Another great changeup. That one just 83 miles an hour. He leaves the bases loaded. The Blue Jays get the bases loaded, and there's that breaking ball, and Encarnacion with the strikeout. Still a scoreless game. Will take place Monday, September 15th at the Albany Club in Toronto. Join Roberto Alomar, Fergie Jenkins, Cedar Gaston, Dwayne Ward, Devon White, and many more for a baseball discussion and luncheon in support of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Don't miss this great opportunity to chat about the state of the game with so many baseball legends. For tickets, log on to baseballhalloffame.ca. Mookie Betts, the leadoff man, rips it past Valencia down into the corner. Pilar will play it off the wall, and Betts stops it first. That was curious, but that ball hit that overhanging door and shot right to Kevin Pilar, so Betts, playing it safe, stopped it first.
With his speed, you would think that he would be on second base in scoring position, especially where this ball went, right down the left field line. He gets that knuckleball and he yanks it past Valencia. Well, watch as it heads out into left field. Throwing right to Pilar.
There's an overhead door down there, and it's set back into that wall. Every once in a while a ball will catch that lip and just kind of stop right in that doorway. Daniel Nava popped out to third. Of course, Betts can run. He's got 4 steals, so Dickey's going to keep an eye on him. Nava takes strike one. Dickey because he throws that knuckleball, has to have a good move. Knuckleball is very slow and it takes a long time to get to the catcher. Then the fact is you have to hope the catcher can catch it. So Dickey has a quick move to first.
And he's quick to home. Watch that front leg. He barely picks it up when he's going home. And that helps him to deliver that pitch a little bit quicker and give Josh Thole a chance. The Red Sox have been running more lately. They've been trying to steal more bases.
They've been successful 15 of the last 16 times attempting to steal a base, and that's the infusion of youth. Nava fouls it back. If you were Mookie Betts at first base, what would you look for from Dickey as far as a key to whether or not you could run?
Well, you know, there's a couple of different schools of thought for base stealers on trying to steal. You can look at the back heel of the pitcher. If he picks it up, that means he's coming over to first base. You can look at the front, the left knee, that if it bends, he's going home. You can look at that, and if that starts to bend before anything else, you know he's going home. Front shoulder, a lot of times pitchers will close their front shoulder off to try and get a little bit more on their pitches to go home. So there's a couple of different things that he could look at. For me, if I'm a base stealer, and I wasn't a great base stealer, I would look at his front knee. If it moves first, he's going home.
There was a pretty good shot of that right there. This has popped up Valencia into foul territory. One down.
Canon's summer clearance sales event. The season's best prices on digital SLRs and point-and-shoot cameras for a limited time only. Visit a Canon authorized dealer today.
Beautiful Sunday afternoon. That's the Public Garden here in Boston. Lots of photographers out in the camera bays here. Couldn't ask for a better day to take pictures. Bright, sunny day. Now you can see a cloud passing across the field, casting a big shadow. Dustin Pedroia takes a ball. Pedroia ripped a base hit to left field his first time up. Boy, he had a cut. You talk about a guy that never takes a swing off. This is Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah, batting practice, anytime. This guy comes to play every single day, and the Red Sox missed his enthusiasm when he was out a few days with that concussion, both on the bench and in the field.
1-1. Not only did they miss his enthusiasm, they're scared to death of him. If you don't play right, he'll let you know. He might be the mightiest might of them all.
Yeah, that happened the other couple of years ago. A young player came up and did something to not like the Red Sox, and he let them know it.
All they can get is the force out at second as Mookie Betts, with a good clean slide into second, allows Pedroia to reach.
It isn't that's how it should be. When a young player comes up, you got the veterans to tell him, hey, that's not how we do it around here. He'll appreciate that slide by Mookie Betts. It was an aggressive slide by a young player to try to break up the double play.
Yeah, and he'll make a point of going to Mookie Betts and say that's how you do it. Just gives us a chance. You get a big bat to the plate, especially in this ballpark. If you can keep the inning alive in this ballpark and keep that base runner on for a home run hitter like Cespedes or Ortiz, you're talking about multiple run innings.
Yeah, you just never know when they're going to pop one out. And it doesn't take a lot to get it out here in left field.
How well has Cespedes fit into this Red Sox team?
Boy, they just love him. I mean, he is one of the most popular players in the clubhouse here in Boston. He has really melded well with this team. They just love him. They love everything about him. This is a team that they got a lot of players who play the guitar on this team. A lot of players. Cespedes went out and bought a guitar. so he can fit right in with these guys. So they're jamming when they're on the road.
Can he play?
Now that I don't know if he can play or not.
But he's got one.
But he's got one so he can hang out with his teammates.
It's always interesting whether or not a player will fit into the clubhouse mentality of a different team. And clubhouses are so much different than they were when you and I played. We all stayed in organizations a much longer period of time. Ball is hit to center. Ghost is there. He's got plenty of room, and Cespedes is retired. Sox leave a runner on. We've played 3 here at Fenway Park. It's a scoreless game. Lynn, Valencia, and Tolley when we come back to Boston. The Toronto Blue Jays. If you're looking for more highlights, how about catching the Blue Jays in 60 seconds for the biggest at-bats, most dramatic moments in every game-changing play. Blue Jays in 60 seconds after every game, only on sportsnet.ca. Well, Jamie Campbell is checking everything out. He'll keep you up to speed all afternoon on the rest of those games around the league that have playoff implications. Kansas City is at New York. Baltimore down in Tampa Bay. Seattle will be in Texas again. White Sox are playing in Cleveland. Cleveland has a 1-0 lead in the 5th.
National League is tightening up in a couple of those divisions also. There's some good pennant races over there.
That's cued off the end of the bat. That's going to drop for a base hit. Lind is aboard with a leadoff single. He got one of those changeups and was able to cue it off the end of the bat.
That'll make up for some of the line drives that they catch. Enough plate coverage by Lindy. It's a right off the end of the bat. No chance for anybody. And third hit of the afternoon for the Blue Jays.
Talk about the National League and the divisions. San Francisco is the closest to a division leader. They're 2 behind the Dodgers. Milwaukee 4 behind the Cardinals, and Atlanta 6 behind the Nationals. Danny Valencia takes one down and away. In the wild card race, San Francisco, Atlanta, and Milwaukee are all in that wild card hunt. San Francisco has the first wild card berth, and then Atlanta, Milwaukee are tied. Pittsburgh's a half game behind, and then the Miami Marlins are only 5 back.
How about that? There's 4 teams that really have a legitimate chance at the wild card, and only 2 of them are going to go. 4 teams separated by a half a game in that National League wild card.
San Francisco, Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. What a great way to wind up the season.
And the Giants are only 2 games behind the Dodgers in the West. I mean, that's not a done deal.
There's a strike right on the corner. 2 balls and a strike. Boy, anytime you can have the Giants and the Dodgers battling for a pennant race, that's going to create all kinds of interest. Bouncing ball towards second. Bogarts to Pedroia, back to first. What a turn by Pedroia. Boy, that's a tough double play. Bogarts was in front of the bag at second, had the flip back behind him to Pedroia, who was standing ready to receive it.
And Pedroia had to wait for the ball, wait for Bogarts to give it to him, and he had to wait at the bag, and you can see him using that bag as a defender, getting ready to get up into the air. Bogarts delivers it on time. He touches it with his right foot, plants, and fires a ball over to first base to get the double play.
Pedroia has committed just 2 errors this season, making another bid for a Gold Glove.
Just a solid player. He plays every day. He's like Robinson Cano in that respect, that he plays every day. Pencil him in. He's going to do something for you to help you win a ball game with his glove or with his bat.
And we talk about the leadership of Pedroia. And he mentioned if you're not playing the way he thinks you should, he'll let you know. And he doesn't have to ask the manager, you mind if I talk to this guy? Managers trust him to have good judgment, and they say, you do whatever you think's right. Totally fouls it off. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the 4th. So the final game between these 2 clubs this season. Toronto will win the season series 12-6. They have really had the upper hand against Boston here. That's a fair ball, and it bounces off that wall. There goes Bogarts out to left field, but Nava is right there to help him out. We have talked about those base hits that go inside the bag at third, how they will hook and hit that wall. Shortstop Bogarts, this is his home ballpark, so he knows he's got to hustle after it. Watch his reaction here. The shortstop will take off and go into left field, anticipating that ball maybe bouncing back toward him.
You know, the infield instructor, Brian Butterfield, has already drilled that into young Bogarts' head. That ball that goes down the left field line is going to hit the seats, and it's going to jet right back to you. So don't be caught watching.
Kevin Pillar singled to center his first time up. He had a leadoff single in the 3rd. He waves at that breaking ball. 0-2. John Gibbons has said time and time again he's going to use the month of September to really evaluate what they have in Pillar and Gose. And now that has really been facilitated by the injury to Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, says he wants to look at those 2 guys, see what they can do. He says they could be our center fielder and our left fielder next year. So just don't know how things are going to work out. So he wants to take a look at them in game situations. They have done okay for the Jays this year.
Well, gets a piece of it and stays alive. Now, the fact of the matter is Melky Cabrera is a free agent after this season. Same for Colby Erasmus. So Anthony Gose might get an extended opportunity to play every day. They certainly would be the internal solution. Another base hit for Pillar. He just reached out, poked it into center. He's 2 for 2. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Well, Kansas City lost yesterday 6-4 to the Yankees. The Yankees had Brandon McCarthy on the mound. Danny Duffy started for Kansas City, threw 1 pitch, and he left the game with a shoulder injury. That's a big concern for the Royals.
Yeah, all the teams that needed to lose for the Blue Jays yesterday lost. Unfortunately, so did they.
Baltimore has lost 2 in a row to Tampa Bay. Detroit lost 2 in a row. They are ahead of the Blue Jays in the wild card hunt.
Baltimore's losing again today to Tampa.
Throw to second base, and it's low. Trying to catch Tolley. You know, it's always a good idea to try to pick the catchers off, especially with 2 outs, because they know they've got to get a bigger lead to try to score.
And in this ballpark, this is a set play. You could see the shortstop, Bogaerts, sliding in behind Josh as he was taking his secondary lead. And you're right, you need to get that big secondary lead, especially here with that short left field.
Ball on a strike. Now it's strike 2. Yeah, and catchers, obviously, we aren't blessed with great speed, so you think, okay, scoreless game, I got to get a bigger secondary lead. And Christian Vasquez is going to change that mindset when you're playing against the Red Sox. Blue Jays have 3 hits in the inning, but the double play erased one of those. Goins now trying to deliver with 2 outs. Covers that outside pitch, but it slices foul into the seats.
I think he's going to have to learn to hit those off-speed pitches. They're not just going to just throw the ball in there. He doubled the other night off of Clay Buchholz on a fastball that he drilled to center field. He had great numbers against Buchholz, and since then they've started to throw him a few more breaking balls.
This is popped up left side of the diamond. Bogaerts going out. Nava calls him off. The left fielder makes the catch. Goins pops out. The Blue Jays strand a pair. They left the bases loaded last inning. Leave 2 here in this inning. Presented by Mr. Sub. Sunday, September 14th, Blue Jays will take on the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a 107 start. First 20,000 fans receive a Blue Jays messenger bag. Call the Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234 or log online at bluejays.com. Blue Jays messenger bag day, all presented by Mr. Sub. I misspoke earlier. The Blue Jays record for the season against Boston is 11-7. If they're going to win the season series. They have lost the last 2 games here at Fenway after starting out 6-0 against Boston here.
6-2 at Fenway this season. They've really outscored them. Chance of, and they will win the season series. Now win the series here.
Andrew Bogaerts, boy, he's dealing with some tough shadows right now. The flag over the top of the stadium is waving right in that batter's box. Got to be a distraction.
You remember when we were in Baltimore?
How about that?
And the kids were waving the flags, and it was creating that type of look in the batter's box?
That was the strangest thing I've ever seen in a ballpark as far as fans getting involved into the game. They were standing high atop the stadium second deck. The sun was shining through the partition, and they had a towel. And the shadow. And you know who picked up on it? Mark Burley. He goes, "What's going on at home plate?" And then he figured it out.
Something just doesn't look right. And as a hitter, you don't think that bothers you? You're like, well, what's the big deal? You're watching a baseball. Well, you got this thing, this nervous thing, that light that's flickering on and off. That's what it feels like.
Bogart reaches out and hits it into right, but Bautista is there. Makes a head-high catch. One down.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical expert sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Yaki Way outside of Fenway Park. A buzz before the game. People enjoying that outside area that they've really developed over the last few seasons. Lots of concessions out there. Alan Craig was hit by a pitch his first time up. For the Red Sox, he is batting .116 since being acquired. On the season, just .237. His numbers are off overall.
Yeah, way off. This guy was a great run producer for the last 2 years for the St. Louis Cardinals. Hit with runners in scoring position. This time he's going to take 3 pitches.
Yeah, he was surprised by that strike 3 call. That was that slow knuckleball, and he thought he had a pretty good look at it. Felt like it was off the plate. See how surprised he is. He expected that to be called a ball, and then looks at the home plate umpire, Rob Drake, and says, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, he was just backing out of the batter's box to get ready for the next pitch. And now he's got it back to the dugout.
Well, we talk about how difficult it is a pitch to hit and how tough it is to catch. It's also challenging for the umpires. It's in one spot at one moment, and the next moment it's in another spot, and you call it, it's a strike, and it might dodge out of that strike zone before you can get that hand up. There's a high fly ball. You got to stay with this ball in the corner. Pilar drifting back and makes the catch on the warning track. 3 up, 3 down. Still a scoreless game as we move to the 5th. Anthony Ghost will start things off. The number 9 hitter. Game Center Live. Get live out-of-market regular season games on your phone, laptop, or tablet. Live stream over 1,000 games so you can follow your team and catch the games that matter to you. Great tool to help you enjoy the NHL season, and we'll bring you all that NHL action right here on Rogers. Hockey season just around the corner. Hard to believe we're closing in on the second week of September already. Anthony Ghost, now he's got to deal with that flag waving high above the stadium.
It was just in the right-hander's batter's box. Now it's in the left-hander's. He's got to deal with that. He's in the shade, and the pitcher's in the sun.
He shows bunt, pulls the bat back. Anthony with the sacrifice bunt attempt back in the third inning, and Christian Vasquez made a terrific play, came out from behind home and got the lead runner at third. Threw out Kevin Pillar. Showing bunt, takes a strike. 2-1. Now it's 3-1. Ghost trying to start the inning. It'll be Reyes and then Bautista back to the top of the order.
He can let it go right now. 3-1. See if you can get an extra base hit here.
He was thinking the same way. Fouled it off the catcher's glove.
He was faking that bunt. He kept looking down at Alan Craig, the first baseman, to see what he was doing. It looked like the Red Sox were playing it that Pedroia was going to come in and field the bunt. So when it got to 3-1, he took that one off and tried to hit an extra base hit. He's got some pop in the bat. If he can get some consistency in the way that he sets up and gets that bat started, he's going to be fine.
Stephen Wright has started to throw. I mentioned early on, Pat talked about De La Rosa and a pitch count. Ghost takes the leadoff walk. Second walk issued by De La Rosa. De La Rosa has thrown 76 pitches. The Red Sox are a little bit concerned about his season pitch count, so they're going to keep an eye on him down the stretch. So now back to the top of the order. Reyes has struck out and lined out. Anthony has 15 steals. He's been caught 4 times.
Boy, if they elect to start that runner at first base, this could be fun right here. The speed of Anthony Ghost versus the arm of the catcher, Christian Vasquez.
Ghost fakes the break.
He was leaning too. De La Rosa did a good job of holding the ball just a little bit longer. Anthony was leaning like he wanted to try and get a jump.
You better not stray too far off the bag. Catcher will throw behind you if you're not running. So you get kind of cute faking a break. You get out there too far and Vasquez will pick you off. I think you have to make up your mind to go one way or the other.
Yeah, if you're going to go, go. Don't get out there with a huge secondary lead.
Not running. Reyes hits it into center field. That's going to drop in front of Jackie Bradley Jr. and Ghost does a great job. Headed for third. Here's the throw. It's not in time. Reyes slides into second. Terrific base running by Anthony Ghost. He got a good read on that and recognized that Bradley wasn't going to catch it. And then when it skipped past Bradley, Anthony never hesitated and moved to third, and Reyes followed him right into second.
Yeah, what he did is he got out to second base. He got out there, right there, and then he reads that it's going to drop in, hits the corner of the bag, and then motors into third base. And then right behind him, Jose Reyes, once that ball got all the way to third. Jackie Bradley is an outstanding outfielder.
Picks up his first error of the season as that ball bounced past him to allow Ghost to go to third. It's a single for Reyes, an error on Jackie Bradley Jr. So now the Blue Jays have to take advantage here. Second and third, nobody out.
Well, they've got the right two guys coming up. We have talked all series long how Bautista loves hitting in this ballpark. He's got some RBIs sitting out there waiting for him.
Trying to stay away from Bautista. Blue Jays are 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They've stranded 5 so far. There's the numbers in the 11-game hit streak for Bautista. There's a drive to left field. He's done it again. Number 20 here at Fenway. He loves hitting in this ballpark. Home run number 31 for Bautista. 3 RBIs, that gives him 89.
.32 home runs now against the Red Sox. And in this ballpark, you get it up in the air. Bautista loves hitting here. The definition of a hanging breaking ball. That's what you're going to see when we see the replay of that home run by Jose. First 2 runners on, they're in scoring position, hanging breaking ball, and just like that, the Blue Jays are up 3-0.
And they have knocked Ruby De La Rosa out of the ballgame. Bautista with his 20th career home run here at Fenway Park. That ends the day for Ruby De La Rosa. Steven Wright will come into the ballgame. No doubt about it. He can walk up the first baseline and admire the 31st home run of the season. 3-0 Blue Jays. Nothing lead on Jose Bautista's home run. And when you look at the power division home runs against American League East teams this season, Bautista, that was his 17th home run against the East. David Ortiz, not in the starting lineup today, has 13. Chris Davis, Nelson Cruz of the Orioles, and Edwin. He has 11. He's trying to add to that number now after Bautista went deep.
You face them so many times, you get very familiar with what they throw in certain situations, and Bautista, Jose taking advantage of that. Steven Wright, he has thrown in 1 game with the Sox this year. This is back on August the 17th versus Houston. 4 innings in that game, allowing just 1 run. Yeah, he is a knuckleball pitcher. So we got Dickey versus Wright, the knuckleballer. There are his numbers this season in the 1 game.
Steven Wright, like Dickey, converted to the knuckleball late, and he's a guy that has started his career with the Cleveland Indians. He was drafted out of the University of Hawaii in 2006. He's pitched in this area in the past. He had a great season in the Cape Cod League in 2005. That's back over the screen, out of play.
Blue Jays are going to see what it feels like facing R.A. Dickey as the knuckleballer comes in there and floats in there. He made his major league debut last year with Boston.
Two and two, down and away. Still nobody out. Blue Jays have scored 3 runs here in the 5th. A leadoff walk by Anthony Gose. Reyes had a bloop single into center, and then Bautista with a 3-run home run. There's a strikeout. Encarnacion is down. That's the first out of the inning.
Well, talked about a hanging breaking ball. That's what Jose gets from Ruby De La Rosa, and he's seen plenty of those in his career, and he knows exactly what to do with it. Mash it out of this ballpark just like that. 3-0 with one swing.
Adam Lynn takes one in there for a strike. Stephen Wright started to really pitch seriously with the knuckleball late in 2010. And he, like Dickey, has worked with Charlie Huff, Tim Wakefield, who was doing the pregame show for the Red Sox this afternoon. He, of course, that great knuckleball pitcher that pitched so well for the Red Sox for so long, he has worked with Wright. Adam Lynn goes the other way and picks up his second base hit.
Boy, that was easy right there for Lynn. They had the shift on. Knuckleball, all you have to do is wait just a little bit longer and hit a ground ball to the left side. That's easy for Adam.
He is 2 for 3. So Danny Valencia will step in with 1 out and Lind at first base. Valencia is 0 for 2. Valencia takes a strike. Stephen Wright had a hernia operation before spring training, and he was on the DL until the 5th of June. So he had to get his pitching together in extended spring training this year. There's a slow knuckleball. Middlebrooks to Pedroia at second, back to first. Valencia hits into the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. But the Blue Jays break out on top. Take advantage of a leadoff walk, a single by Reyes, and then Jose Bautista. He has done this 20 times in Boston. Hits it high into the Green Monster seats. It's 3-0 Blue Jays. Fame of Roberto Alomar will host a showcase baseball tournament at Rogers Center, highlighting some of Canada's best amateur baseball players with college eligibility. Tournament passes are now available at bluejays.com/T12. Jose Bautista reminding Anthony Gose that they're dealing with a bright, brilliant sun here this afternoon.
And it's getting worse for the right fielder the later we get into this ball game.
Jackie Bradley Jr., the leadoff man here. In the bottom of the fifth, R.A. Dickey has a 3-0 lead. Bradley Jr. drove a ball to the warning track in center his first time up, but he was retired on the fly ball. R.A. Dickey trying to win his 12th game. That would even his record to 12-12. This is his 30th start of the season.
He has won his last 2 and 4 of his last 6. The knuckleball has really been good his last few times out. He's getting movement. He's throwing it in the strike zone. He's not walking batters, which is always important.
Bradley Jr. got a piece of it to stay alive. This is R.A.'s second season with the Blue Jays, and if you look back over the past 4 years, only James Shields and Justin Verlander have made more starts than R.A. Dickey. This is his 129th start in the last 4 years. I don't think Lynn ever saw that ball. He knew it was over there in the vicinity, but I think when he looked up in the sun, he kind of got blinded. Yeah. He threw his hands out the side and said, man, I never saw that.
Lost it, even though he's got the sunglasses down. Ryan Goins came over to try and help him. I'm telling you, it goes up above the stands here, and you're looking right into that sun. You can lose it.
You always hear this phrase on days like this, the high sky. Well, of course the sky's high, but what it means is that there's no depth perception because it's such a clear day. That ball is hit a ton. It is far enough, but it is going to be a foul ball. Outside of Pesky's pole down that right field line. Kobe Rasmus wrapped one around Pesky's pole last night, coming off the bench to hit a 2-run home run in the 7th. That made it a 4-3 game, but the Blue Jays couldn't make up that extra run.
You see Jackie Bradley standing at the plate. He's not stepping in. They're going to take a look at this one. Now he got the sign from the bench that the ball was foul on the replay up in the clubhouse.
He used that fastball that time. Yeah, this might be the most difficult foul pull in all of baseball as far as umpires are concerned. It's just a totally different perspective than any other ballpark. This is popped up. Lynn looking up into that sky, shielding his eyes, drifts back toward first and makes the catch. So we mentioned Dickey is wrapping up his second full season with the Blue Jays. This is his 30th start, and if you look where he ranks over the last 2 years with the Jays, he's 5th in innings, he's 2nd in starts, 1st in home runs allowed, and 98th in ERA. Combination of giving up those home runs will elevate that earned run average, of course. But he has given the Blue Jays consistent innings, that's for sure.
Yeah, he takes the ball. He'll go over 200 innings again this year. Takes the ball, gives you your innings. He gives you a chance to win every single time out there. Opponent's batting average just .241 coming into this ball game.
Yeah, and you hear all of those numbers in the advanced metrics and say, well, how important is innings? innings being lapped. You know, you don't have to go deep in your bullpen. He's going to pitch 6-7 innings every time he goes to the mound. But it's such a temperamental pitch. When he does throw a flat knuckleball, it really flies, and that's why he's given up so many home runs.
Yeah, that's evident in home runs. But when it's dancing, you just can't. You can't time it up. You know what else it does? If you are pitching RA in the first game of a series, and that it's got that knuckleball dancing like that, it could affect the other 2 games in the series for the pitchers behind him with that crazy knuckleball messing up the timing of those hitters.
Vasquez hits it on the ground. Goins is right there. 2 down. Well, that might be part of the reason David Ortiz is not in this game today. David Ortiz, big left-handed bat, but he is not in the lineup against R.A. Dickey. Of course, we played a late game last night. It might be the fact that it's a day game after a night game. But Ortiz against Dickey has reasonable numbers. He's 6 for 18, a couple of home runs. But I know a lot of managers will hold out their regulars if they have the opportunity, trying to guard against forcing a hitter into a slump.
He used his fastball a lot more than I recall in this game. He's used it early in the count. That time he surprised Mookie Betts and got the check swing.
Another check swing. This is a bouncing ball to first. R.A. Dickey retires the side in order. He's set down 7 straight now that he's got the lead. Experience in baseball IQ. Jerry and Joe calling Blue Jays baseball all season long, exclusively on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Jerry Howarth, longtime voice of the Blue Jays, going back into the 80s. Joe Siddle in his first season working on radio and television. They're good guys to travel with. We have a lot of fun talking about baseball, talking about all the other sports. Joe's son is at Canisius in Buffalo playing baseball. He just wrapped up his summer of baseball, and Joe's going to get a chance to go down to Buffalo and see his son next Thursday on the off day.
Yeah, got the full report all summer long on the Summer League team from Joe.
Top of the 6th inning, 3-0 Jays. They have out-hit the Red Sox 8-3. They knocked Ruby De La Rosa out of the game. Jose Bautista did it with a 3-run home run in the 5th. Stephen Wright into the game. Wright is 30 years old. He's from California. He was originally drafted by San Diego but did not sign. He signed with the Cleveland Indians. He went to the University of Hawaii, which is a pretty good deal.
Spend your 4 years in college in Hawaii?
I have been there. My son played against Hawaii, and we would take a road trip there to start the season. I think we spent about 8 days over there. You stay on Waikiki, and you go to University of Hawaii. They got a nice baseball facility. Totally bounces it foul. They have a beautiful two-tiered stadium with artificial turf. And they always attract a lot of the Southern California teams over there who start their season. Of course, the weather is good, and the beach isn't too bad either.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They used to have a AAA team there.
Yeah, the Hawaii Islanders.
No more, right?
No. I'll tell you what, John Gibbons and DeMarlo Hale worked with each other in the Hawaiian Winter League team, which was also a pretty good gig. Totally takes strike 3. He's been catching a knuckleball all year long. Now he strikes out against a knuckleballer. That's the first out here in the 6th. Well, the Vancouver team in the Northwest League is in the Northwest League Championship Series, and they lost that game last night. They had a 5-0 lead in that game, and Hillsborough came back to win it 7-5. They will play in Hillsborough later on this afternoon.
That's 4 years in a row that they've been in the championship game.
They've done a good job out there, and certainly the fans in Vancouver have supported that team very well. Of course, Marcus Stroman and Aaron Sanchez both played there. This is chopped toward third. Middlebrooks, bare hands, throws. What a nice play. Kevin Pillar making a bid for his 3rd hit of the afternoon is thrown out on a nice play by the third baseman, Middlebrooks.
That ball was chopped right in front of home plate, and Middlebrooks was deep at third base. Ball was still getting out there pretty quickly, so he elects to barehand it, and then strong arm across the infield to record the out.
Well, there's no question about Middlebrooks defensively at third. He's got great range, good hands, and a strong arm. Ryan Goins has walked and popped out. Ground ball. Bogarts waits it short. Quick inning for Stephen Wright. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. R.A. Dickey with a 3-0 lead. Daniel Nava, Dustin Pedroia, and Yoenis Cespedes when we come back to Fenway. At Rogers Center starting tomorrow night, and Marcus Stroman will open up the series. He's looking for his 10th win of the season. Mark Bailey on Tuesday would like to get that 12th win. He has been stuck on 197 career wins for quite a while now. And Drew Hutchison will wrap up the series on Wednesday night. He too looking for his 10th win. It's been a good year for Marcus Stroman. 9-5 with a 383 earned run average in his first opportunity as a starter.
We've got 2 starters already in double figures with wins, 3 other ones with 9. It has never happened in Blue Jay history where 5 starters have won in double figures. Ever. Blue Jays have a chance to do that the last 3 weeks of the season. They have had 5 pitchers win double figures. 3 starters and 2 relievers, but they've never had 5 starters win in double figures.
Daniel Nava, he's popped out twice, both the third baseman. There's a fastball, and that's drilled to center field. That's going to get down and bang up against the wall. Nava is headed for a second. He'll get there with a stand-up double leading off the 6th. You had mentioned Dickey's using a few more fastballs, and that time Nava was looking for it.
Yeah, and it was 2-0 for the count. He doesn't want to walk him, so he gives him a room service fastball right down the middle, and Daniel Nava slices that ball away from Anthony. Goes for extra bases to start the bottom of the 6th inning.
For Nava, that's his 16th double of the season, only the 4th hit that Dickey has allowed this afternoon. Destin Pedroia is 1 for 2. Now the shadows are really prominent as the top of the stadium has cast a shadow all the way across home plate. You could see the contrast between sunlight and shade.
Still tough to hit. But one thing you have going for you, both of these pitchers now being knuckleball pitchers, they don't throw very hard. So you'll have some time to pick it up out of his hand.
Well, one thing too that's always a problem for batters on days like this is you try to see the spin of the breaking ball, and neither one of these guys throw breaking ball, so that's not a concern. Pedroia hits it on the ground. 2 hops, 2 goings.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical expert sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
That is the Public Gardens here in Boston. Boston Common and the Public Gardens, always great destinations for visitors into this area. Yoenis Cespedes is 0 for 2 so far.
This is where Josh Tolley becomes very important right here. You know R.A. Dickey's going to go for the strikeout right here, so he's going to try that hard knuckleball. Runner on third base, you got to have a lot of confidence in that catcher that he's going to come up with it. All right, he's got that shutout. He wants to keep that intact, so he's going to go for the strikeout.
Well, there's a good one. That was a slower knuckleball that had an extra bit of movement on. Tolley had 2 pass balls in his last game with Dickey. That was Tuesday in Tampa Bay. For the season, Josh has committed 9 pass balls. Lots of great games going on around baseball. Cleveland has a 1-0 lead over the White Sox in the bottom of the 8th. Kansas City in New York up 2-0 over the Yanks. Tampa Bay continues to be a problem for Baltimore. They have a 3-0 lead, and they're tied in Minnesota, Angels and Twins. Kansas City, we mentioned, they lead 2-0. Yordano Ventura, the youngster, is on the mound. He has allowed just 2 hits over 4 innings. Look out. Up and in.
Oh, that looked like it might have been a fastball right there, just to see if Cespedes was going to cheat. Maybe you can get him to swing through it. 80 miles an hour, so he's reaching back for a little something.
And there's that high knuckler. Cespedes strikes out. 3 strikeouts, 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, Jamie, that's a great point. Milwaukee is on the verge of falling out of the playoff picture. They are currently tied with Atlanta for the second wild card berth, and they're in danger of falling 5 games behind the Cardinals in the National League Central. And you're right, they were in first place till August 31st, I believe.
20-7 in April. Got off to a great start. Now they're 7 games under 500 since then.
Yeah, and the problem today is that they're up against Adam Wainwright. And he has that knack for stepping on your throat when he's got you down. He's allowed just 1 hit through 3 innings. Jimmy Nelson is on the mound for Milwaukee, and he's been charged with 4 earned runs.
R.A. Dickey is going through the windup, and Daniel Nava at third base is coming down the line a long way. Josh Tolley told him, hey, take a look at him, and he said, forget it. I got him.
Bogarts reaches for it and hits it down the right side. Bautista fighting the sun. That is a foul ball. Pat, you mentioned it, and as the day goes on and it gets later in the afternoon, right field really becomes a challenge. Remember, we saw Lou Piniella out there in the playoffs many years ago in the 70s, Yankees and Red Sox, and he had a ball that he never saw that hit right beside him, and he threw his glove down, and there it was. He got it.
It went in his glove and caught it. Was that in that game against the Red Sox or against the Yankees? Yankees or Red Sox here in '78?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was in that
playoff game. One game playoff.
The Bucky Dent game.
Yeah, that game.
There's a base hit for Bogarts, and the Blue Jays just can't get him out. He is 2 for 3 this afternoon. He drives in the first Red Sox run, and it's a 3-1 Jays lead now.
2 more hits for Bogarts this afternoon. He's going to be sad to see the Blue Jays leave. Let's watch this pitch one more time. That knuckleball up. And R.A., you can see he was just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning, but he gives up the 2-out hit to Bogarts.
23 hits now for Bogarts against the Jays this season. That's the most in baseball. Alan Craig has been hit by a pitch, and he was called out on strikes. His last time up, he was very surprised to be called out. Looked like the ball was inside off the plate, but Rob Drake called strike 3. Bogarts is now 6 for 11 against R.A. Dickey in his career.
Even the ball he made an out on today was a line drive to right field, if you remember that, back in the 4th inning. He had that ball covered. He's hit a couple of home runs against the Blue Jays this year.
Greg gets a piece of it. This Red Sox team, obviously a very disappointing season after their World Series championship a year ago, but I start to see signs why they are encouraged about the prospects for next season. The addition of Cespedes first and foremost, the development of Mookie Betts, the addition of Alan Craig really lengthens their lineup. And then that young catcher behind the plate, Christian Vasquez. That's a broken bat. Goins will play it on the hop, but he's fortunate it didn't have a lot of spin on it. Craig is retired. The inning is over, but the Sox are on the board. Yeah. Xander Bogaerts with an RBI single. Toronto has a 3-1 lead. Partnership that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead as we head to the 7th inning here at Fenway Park. The Red Sox won the first 2 games of this weekend series. Blue Jays trying to end up with a winning record on this 6-game road trip. They swept the Rays in 3 games in Florida. Now, with a chance to win this game this afternoon, they would end up with a 4-2 road trip. Not exactly what they had in mind, obviously, given their situations in the wild card race. They needed to have a better series here at Fenway.
Yeah, after sweeping Tampa down in Tampa, 2 out of 3, maybe a sweep here is what the Blue Jays had in mind. So still scrambling to win this one right here. John Gibbons was talking about that after the game yesterday. He says we're running out of ball games. It's getting late. We need to start winning some games.
Anthony Gose walked and scored his last time up. Bouncing ball toward first as Craig comes in to scoop it up and tag Gose before he could get to the bag. Well, Blue Jays will have 20 games left after this game this afternoon, and they are running out of games. And look ahead to the schedule. We mentioned the Cubs are in town for a 3-game series. It all starts tomorrow night. And then after the off day on Thursday, Tampa Bay will finish up their season series against the Blue Jays. Then the Jays are off to Baltimore. Interesting 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles, and then on to New York for 4 against the Yankees before returning home to face the Mariners.
Really anxious to see some of those Cub players, those young Cub players that they have brought up. We've been hearing about them for a couple of years as some of these young players that they have in their farm system. Something special, and then get to come to Rogers Center starting tomorrow.
Reyes batting right-handed against the knuckleballer. Now, the Cubs have a lot of good young prospects, including Jorge Soler and Javier Baez. 2 of their more experienced players, Anthony Rizzo and Starling Marte, are out. Starling Castro are out with injuries, so we won't see them in this next series.
Yeah, experienced, but they're like 25 years old.
Yeah.
Both of them.
That being said, the Cubs are still 63 and 78. Stephen Wright came into the ball game with nobody out in the 5th. He got out of that inning with just a single allowed. Retired the side in order in the 6th. And here he walks Reyes with 1. It's a 3-1 game. Certainly this game is yet to be decided. Lots of baseball left, and we have seen leads come and go very quickly here at Fenway.
So imperative to get those tack-on runs right here, and you got Bautista hitting once again, who has knocked in all the runs for the Blue Jays again this afternoon.
Bautista is 2 for 3 so far this afternoon. Long home run his last time up, a 3-run shot, his 31st of the season. Of course, Wright, the knuckleballer like Dickey, has to be very aware of the running game. One and one to Bautista. Bautista with an 11-game hit streak. And he went after that about halfway through the swing, recognized it was going to be a ball, but that's the challenge of trying to hit.
Yeah, and already started a swing. It was a high knuckleball. I would try if Jose Reyes feels good at first base. Here's that high knuckleball. He swings right through it. If Reyes' legs feel good, I wouldn't mind starting him. Try to get in the scoring position and try to keep the pressure on the Red Sox. You say, well, then they'll open up a base to Bautista. Okay, if you want to walk him, fine. I'll take my chances with Encarnacion.
Edwin homered here on Friday. Oh, they got him.
Yeah.
They had him leaning as Reyes strayed too far. And you can see that separation, and John Gibbons has come out of the Blue Jays dugout. Reyes has not given up first base.
He took one extra step, like a shuffle off the bag right before Wright came over there. And Gibby's going to take a look into the dugout to see if he wants to review this one. Watching, there's that last shuffle, and now he's way off the base.
And Reyes will follow Gibbons back to the dugout as they will not ask for the review. That was really difficult to tell. You couldn't really tell where Craig tagged Reyes as he was stretching to make the tag. But Reyes is picked off first. Now there are 2 outs and a 1-2 count to Bautista. Ground ball to Bogarts. Another easy inning for Stephen Wright. That knuckleball's working for him this afternoon. Go to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 3-1 Blue Jays lead. R.A. Dickey has allowed just 5 hits brought to you by the all-new 2015 Honda Fit. Fit your lifestyle, fit your fun, fit whatever.
Well, there's one ball to leave the ballpark this afternoon, and what's new is Jose Bautista. Breaking ball from Ruby De La Rosa, and Jose Bautista deposits that one out of here for the 3-run home run. Bautista just loves hitting in this ballpark, and against the Boston Red Sox this season, that's his 7th home run in the 2014 season versus the Red Sox.
Yeah, he has always hit well in this ballpark, and that home run was his 20th career home run here at Fenway Park. Blue Jays have now homered in 11 straight games. R.A. Dickey had a terrific start last time out against Tampa Bay, and he's backed it up with another good start here this afternoon. He has not walked a batter, which is always crucial in Fenway Park. You don't want to give up those extra base runners, and then somebody runs into one, and you find yourself quickly behind.
Just 2 hits allowed in his last start. That was 7 innings. That was that gem against Tampa Bay. The fewest hits allowed in 2014. Following it up with another good one here is 5 hits in the 6 innings this afternoon against a very good and a very deep, I think, Red Sox hitting team now that they've made all those changes.
Well, they have given Dickey problems as far as getting their base hits, but Dickey is looking to go 4-0 against the Red Sox this season. Dickey had given up 22 hits in 25 1/3 coming into this game, but he's done a good job of keeping the ball in the yard. He's allowed just 2 home runs to the Red Sox. Dickey is waiting as the break went extra long with the singing of God Bless America, so now he is ready to go, and he's going to throw one final pitch to stay loose. Well, Middlebrooks, the 7-hitter in the Sox lineup. It'll be Middlebrooks, Bradley Jr., and Christian Vasquez, 7, 8, 9 for Boston. Sharply hit, but foul. Young lady very happy. She got a foul ball. Well, you got to really pay attention down there.
Right down there, right down the left field line where these big right-handers are up. Blue Jay fan, though, made a nice play on that ground ball, didn't he?
The ball girl tipped it and hit it in the air, and then he just reached out and grabbed it and gave it to the young lady. 1-2 upstairs, 2-2. Blue Jays bullpen starting to move around out in right field. Dickey pitching into the 7th. Now it's a full count. Brett Cecil, a left-hander, boy, he's been throwing the ball well of late. Strike 3 call. I think he used that fastball and didn't want to give up a leadoff walk, so strikes out Will Middlebrooks, who was surprised by the fastball.
And put it in a good spot right there. Watch where this one is, right on the corner. Middlebrooks thought it was ball 4, but it's high enough, catches plenty of the plate. Using that fastball a lot this afternoon. It's been good for him. 4th strikeout of the afternoon for R.A. Dickey.
Jackie Bradley Jr. making his first start in this series has gone 0 for 2. He's behind quickly. With a high fly ball into center, goes backpedaling. He's got plenty of room. Just short of the warning track in center. 2 down.
Another fastball. That time was elevated by Dickey, and Bradley can't get on top of it. 103 pitches now for R.A. Dickey here into the 7th inning.
Been another real good start for Dickey. Looking for his 3rd straight win. He had a no decision against the Red Sox at Rogers Center on the 26th of August, but won his previous start at Milwaukee. Beat Brewers 9-5 in that game, and then beat Tampa Bay 8-2 his last time out. Trying to get to 500.
Yeah, 500, and looks fresh. Still throwing the ball hard, still throwing it where he wants to. I know he's up over 100 pitches. It's a cool afternoon. It feels good, and I don't know how he feels physically, but he looks like he could go out there and pitch another inning for the Jays.
The Blue Jays will have the 3-game series against Chicago Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before they have their next off day, and that will be their final off day of the season. And John Gibbons has the extra arms in the bullpen with the expanded rosters in September. R.A. threw a season-high 126 pitches in his start in Oakland, and that was in a losing effort, a complete game.
He has also had a game of 121 pitches, 111, 112 a couple of times. I mean, they haven't been able to figure him out. They haven't hit a lot of balls very hard this afternoon, and he still looks fresh.
You mentioned the fact that it's a very comfortable day, and even a bit on the cool side when you get in the shade, but great day to pitch. R.A. Dickey is a Gold Glover, and right there he flashed the leather and makes a nice play on Vasquez to end the 7th. Dickey is in control. We'll go to the 8th. The Blue Jays are up by 2. App of Major League Baseball. Listen to live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and BlackBerry. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Good view of Fenway Park from high above on a picturesque Sunday afternoon. Lots of Blue Jay fans here, as always is the case. Whenever you meet Blue Jay fans at the ballpark, they always tell you where they're from. Came all the way from New Brunswick. We're from Newfoundland. We came here to see the Blue Jays. This is our first time. They give you a little history of where they're from and how many times they've been to Fenway Park. It's great to meet them all.
Met a couple of fans the other day right here at the ballpark, right down the left field line. Took pictures from them. That's the first thing they said. We're from Alberta.
Yeah, they always tell you where they're from.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
come
long
to
way.
Boston.
Yep. It's a long way from Toronto.
They're dedicated. They love the Blue Jays.
Edwin Encarnacion fouls it back. Edwin's gone 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. On Friday night, he and Jose Bautista hit home runs in that game. And it was their 30th home run each. And that's the first time that a pair of teammates have hit their 30th home run in a season in the same game. Happened in 2009 with the Phillies. Raul Ibanez and Chase Utley both went deep against the Nationals in Washington.
"30 home runs. That's an accomplishment.
Now they can go 31 in the same game.
Yeah. Don't be afraid, right? Didn't think Edwin was going to get there after he suffered that injury to his leg, his quad muscle. 4th of July weekend in Oakland, and it took so long for him to get back. But you know, when you're out for so long, you got that timing that's got to come back. But he's starting to get it.
Well, he was getting it until he had to face the knuckleballer. He has struck out twice against Stephen Wright, and that will mess up the timing. This is a slow knuckleball, and he just floats it up there.
Watch how he takes a little something off the floater, and Edwin takes a wild swing at it for the first out.
Adam Lind has had a 2-hit afternoon. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles to left. Blue Jays have 3 runs on 8 hits. Boston 1 run on 5 hits. The only home run in the game was off the bat of Jose Bautista. His 3-run home run accounting for all Blue Jays runs. Bautista now with 89 RBIs on the season.
This guy's done a nice job for the Boston Red Sox.
He's interesting, isn't he?
Yeah, as a long man out of the bullpen, knuckleball pitchers can throw every day, I think, and they can throw multiple innings for sure.
He would certainly be attractive as a long man for that guy that comes into the game when your starter gets knocked out early. Give you 3-4 innings of relief and save the rest of your bullpen.
Think about the difference in the miles per hour that the Blue Jays are having to deal with this afternoon. You got Ruby De La Rosa throwing 95, 96 miles an hour, and then you got this guy coming in throwing 65 with the knuckleball. Shutout innings.
Have a day, Adam Lind. His 3rd hit of the afternoon. 3 singles. This one goes into center field. Comes with 1 out in the 8th. So Danny Valencia will step in the box. Valencia's had a rough day. Well, Valencia is not going to hit against Stephen Wright. They're going to Smokey Burgess.
The secret weapon is going to come off the bench.
Kobe Rasmus has been terrific as a pinch hitter. He had a pinch hit 2-run home run in last night's game. Rasmus for the season has 3 pinch hit home runs.
And here is the 3rd one last night off of Breslow, right down the right field line, wraps it right around the pole. 2 big runs for the Blue Jays. They would fall short by a run, but that home run by Kobe Rasmus made it a tight ball game.
Rasmus pinch hitting for Danny Valencia. Goes after that first pitch, and that's what we have seen from Rasmus as a pinch hitter. He is stepping into the box with the finger on the trigger. He's ready to swing.
Yeah, no time to think up there. Just see it and let it go. He's up to 18 home runs and 40 RBIs now.
Colby Rasmus has been relegated to a part-time role here in September. That ball gets away, and Rasmus is out, but Lynn will advance to second. Rasmus strikes out with first base occupied, but Lynn goes to second on the wow pitch.
Yeah, Colby's out because first base was occupied. It's a high knuckleball from right. And when the ball gets by Vasquez, that's going to allow Adam Lynn to get into scoring position. High knuckler right off the glove of Vasquez. And back to the backstop.
They charged Vasquez with a pass ball on that ball that got away. That's the 6th pass ball charge to the rookie catcher. Coley with a 2-0 count. Josh has a single in 3 trips. Josh's father, Mike, is here, been here for the entire series, and he's a joy to be around. He loves to watch Josh play and loves to be around the ball club. It's his first trip to Fenway Park.
He was out of sorts yesterday because he lost his cell phone. He didn't know what to do here in Boston.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Pleasure to have around.
You can see where Josh gets his class from his father.
We are in the 8th inning. The Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead. Brett Cecil is still throwing in the Blue Jays bullpen. That leads you to believe that he's going to come into this game. Dustin McGowan has also joined him. They're both throwing in the Blue Jays pen. Top of the order for Boston, scheduled Mookie Betts, Daniel Nava, and Dustin Pedroia in the bottom of the 8th. Outside, full count. Ari Dickey in line for his 12th win of the season. Coley strikes out. Blue Jays leave a runner in scoring position. Wright strikes out the side. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. For the 8th inning, and Mookie Betts, one of the youngest players in baseball. Ernest Odor is 20 years old. He's playing for the Rangers. Luis Sardinas as well for Texas, 21. Dalton Pompey of the Blue Jays is 21. He'll turn 22 in December. And Mookie Betts will turn 22 in October. So you got a core of young position players playing for the first time in the major leagues. And Dalton Pompey is with the Blue Jays, hopeful of getting in a game, and maybe he'll get some action at home on this upcoming homestand.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he gets a start in the outfield. I'm sure he'll have a lot of family and friends out at the ballpark. Those kids were all born in the early 90s. Goodness gracious. That makes me feel old, those kids now in the big leagues.
We are old, and they are young. Steve Tollefson takes over defensively. Danny Valencia was lifted for the pinch hitter, Colby Erasmus. Tollefson is at third. Dickey back out to start the eighth. Mookie Betts is 1 for 3. Oh, that's a good knuckler. Still has great life on that knuckleball.
Yeah, he's still making a dance on the way to home plate. It's a great afternoon for him to get through 8 innings. He's only done it twice this year.
That ball is hit hard down the right side. That ball's trouble, and it bounces out of play for a ground rule double. Mookie Betts starts things off here in the 8th. Things can unravel in a hurry here at Fenway Park. And John Gibbons has double barrel action in his bullpen, so Dickey gives up the leadoff double. Gibbons wants the left-hander. So Mookie Betts gets his second hit of the afternoon. It's his 7th double of the season. And he's going to chase R.A. Dickey.
Fought that one off. Was a little bit late, but he was able to keep it fair down the right field line. Look how close this ball comes to going foul. And then bounces into the stands for a ground rule double. R.A. Dickey's afternoon is finished. 7+ innings for R.A. Now it's up to the bullpen.
Well, the bullpen has been great. Dickey was good once again. Looking for his 12th win of the season. That would even his record at 12-12. Brett Cecil has been terrific of late. He has really got that curveball working. Dustin Pedroia will bat when we come back. Game trying to protect a 3-1 Blue Jays lead, and Cecil has really turned things around late in the season, and it's been the return of his curveball that has been so good.
Very good. He picked up his 2nd win in his last outing. 59 games now this season for Brett Cecil. Look at the strikeouts per 9 innings, almost 13 per 9 innings, and that's the return of that good, sharp, hard breaking ball that he used so effectively in his last outing.
Daniel Nava, they switch hitter with that right-handed against Cecil. Mookie Betts at second. Nobody out. This is curious. Nava bunting.
2 down by 2 runs.
Yeah. That's why it's curious. Yeah, it's a surprising situation. Why would you bunt here?
Brian Butterfield came all the way down from the third base coaching box to have something to say to Nava, indicating maybe somebody missed a sign.
Well, if you're Nava, you got to have kind of a feel that, hey, it's not a bunting situation. And he just gave away his strike. I mean, if you see a bunt sign and you're down by 2, you got to turn around and ask the coach, are you sure?
Did I miss something here? Go down there and have a chat. The coach isn't going to get mad at you if you call timeout. Just going to make sure.
But he cost himself a strike. 1-1 count to Nava. And now he's in the hole. 1-2. They go back to Thursday in Tampa. Brett Cecil gave up back-to-back hits to start the bottom of the 9th, and then he used that breaking ball to get him out of the jam.
Yeah, he needed the strikeout. He got Brandon Geyer. Then after an intentional walk, he got Forsythe, and then Sean Rodriguez to finish it off. That slider right under the bat of those left-handers, or excuse me, those right-handers from the left-hander Cecil. Big outs for Cecil. He's going to have to do it again here in the 8th inning.
And that was in the bottom of the 9th. Looked like the Rays were going to win it right there. Blue Jays would win it in extra innings with the Rasmus home run, 1-0. 1-2 to Nava. Good fastball. 94.
94, and remember, it's tough to see right now. Pitcher is standing right out in the sunlight, the bright sunlight. The hitter is in the shadows, so a breaking ball might be a nice call right here.
You see that hitter's background is covered today. During night games, they put people in those seats, but not during the day game. It's impossible to see the baseball in a day game with people sitting in that hitter's background. There's the curveball, and it gets the desired results, a strikeout for Cecil.
Brett has been really racking up the strikeouts lately, and he does it with an off-speed pitch. Look at the depth and the movement on that breaking ball right underneath the bat of Daniel Nava to pick up the strikeout.
One down. Cecil trying to save that run for R.A. Dickey. Mookie Betts with the leadoff double. Pedroia goes after the first pitch. Tollison just into the game. Throws him out. So Tollison, with his first opportunity, handles it cleanly. Well, this key at bat, obviously, Cespedes will come to the plate. He's 0 for 3. He has 21 home runs, and Boston's down by 2 with a man aboard.
He has become a very good RBI man for the Red Sox since they traded for him. Doesn't look like he's trying to knock the ball out of the ballpark. He's trying to take what the pitcher gives him, and he has come up with some big hits. 28 RBIs in 27 games since they picked him up.
He has a home run against Cecil, but he's just 2 for 9 against the lefty. Boy, again, that's a sign to me that he's looking breaking ball. He didn't even flinch on that fastball, just raised his arms up, let it go.
And that's a sign that that hitter is looking for the ball out over the plate.
There goes Betts. He's breaking to third, and that's kind of a curious move as well. Cespedes got distracted to the point where he just backed out of the batter's box. No reason to run right there.
Nobody guarding Betts at second base. Everybody playing off of him. And you're right, it distracted Cespedes enough, but it's strike one.
Tried to wait as long as he could, and he's behind 1-2. Mookie Betts now at third base. He hit the ground rule double off R.A. Dickey to start the inning. Cecil's done a much better job lately of stranding inherited base runners. That is directly related to his strikeout capabilities with that curveball.
And he comes up with multiple strikeouts. Needs another one right here.
And he gets it. Totally tags Cespedes. Cecil does another terrific job. He saves a run for R.A. Dickey. The leadoff double is stranded at third. Cecil with 2 strikeouts in the inning. Once again, it's the curveball that gets him out of a jam. Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Win 4 tickets to the Blue Jays Fan Appreciation Weekend. The prize includes tickets, airfare, hotel, and a chance to throw out the first pitch at a Blue Jays game. Contest closes September 19th. Full rules at BlueJays.com. That time of the year when you're talking about Fan Appreciation Weekend as the season is winding down. Stephen Wright, what a job he has done. He is working on his 5th inning of relief.
That is a career high. The 4 innings that we told you about when he first came in against Houston, that is a career high for him as a relief pitcher. Trying to finish this one off right here, throwing up another 0.
Wright came into the game after Bautista hit a 3-run home run off Ruby De La Rosa to knock him out of the game. Kevin Pillar's had a 2-hit afternoon. Pillar tried to bunt and bunted right through it. He's behind 0-2. He strikes out. That's the 6th strikeout for Stephen Wright since he's entered the game.
In his 3rd in a row. He got Colby Rasmus, Josh Tolley, and now Kevin Pillar. He's got a lot of movement on it. It's nice and easy. That's a hard knuckleball also. The ball's not floating up there. That's moving in there.
Yeah, he will throw it like Dickey and get in the upper 70s and low 80s at times. Ryan Goins. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead. They've out-hit the Red Sox 9-6. Owens hits it on the ground. Pedroia waits at second. 2 down. I want to remind you, after baseball, we got some more baseball coming up. Oakland will be in Houston to take on the Astros. Dallas Keuchel will go up against Jason Hammel, as Oakland is trying to hang in there in the AL West. They have slipped to 6 out behind the Angels. They've won just 3 of their last 10. Oakland still has the cushion in the wild card race. They're up by 2 games in the wild card race for that first wild card spot.
80 wins for Oakland, 61 losses.
Ghost bunts it in the air, and Middlebrooks comes in to make the catch. What a good outing by Stephen Wright. He has saved the bullpen, and he's kept the Red Sox within striking distance. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. 3-1 Jays. Casey Janssen coming on, trying to wrap it up for R.A. Dickey. The 8th inning, and he had that knuckler in the zone all afternoon.
Yeah, working really well. Trying to follow up a 2-hitter against the Tampa Bay Rays, and he did that. He was changing speeds with that knuckleball. He was floating it in there at times. He used his fastball a lot more this afternoon, really confusing the Boston Red Sox hitters. All told, 7+ innings. He pitched to 1 batter into the 8th inning. 6 hits, no walks for R.A. Dickey, and those 4 strikeouts. A good outing for Dickey as he pitches his team into the 8th inning, and now Casey Janssen comes on to try to finish it off right here. Jansen's earned run average got up over 4 after his last start. He was charged with the loss on Friday night here in Boston. But all told, 21 for 26 in save opportunities this season.
Casey Janssen gave up 4 straight singles in the 10th inning, taking that loss as Boston came back and scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 10th after the Blue Jays had taken a 2-run lead. Xander Bogaerts, 2 hits today. He's had a great season against the Blue Jays. 23 hits for the Jays, against the Jays this year for Bogaerts. Jansen's ahead 0-2. Missed down and away. Bogaerts has 109 hits, 23 against the Blue Jays. There's strike 3 called. Fastball gets Bogarts.
2 of his 9 home runs against the Blue Jays, but not this time. Casey is going to paint him. And this time, after a couple of pitches away, he locks up Xander Bogaerts. It's high enough, right at the knees, and right on the inside corner for the first down.
Kansas City leads New York 2-0, top of the 8th in the Bronx. Cleveland has won behind Carlos Carrasco, 2-0 over Chicago. Tampa Bay has a 4-2 lead over the Orioles. They're in the top of the 7 in Florida. Seattle also involved in a wild card. They're scoreless in the bottom of the 5th in Texas. James Paxton, another outstanding start. The young Canadian left-hander has thrown 4 1/3, allowed 4 hits, no runs. Alan Craig takes a strike, second strikeout for Jansen.
Boy, Casey's fastball looks a lot better than it did on Friday night, and he's putting it where he lives, down and away. Nothing that Alan Craig can do with this one, and Casey knows he's racked up his 2nd straight strikeout, right on the knees and right on the corner.
Cecil struck out 2 in his inning of work in the 8th. Jansen strikes out the first 2 here in the 9th. Will Middlebrooks trying to keep the Red Sox hopes alive.
Yeah, he's got to get him, because if he loses him and somehow Middlebrooks gets on, you know who you're going to see. David Ortiz.
Jackie Bradley Jr. is the scheduled batter, and he is out on deck. Jansen bounces back with a strike. It's 2-1. Big Papi standing by in the dugout. There's a drive to left field. Pilar is back in front of the scoreboard and makes the catch. That's the ball game. Casey Jansen retires the side in order in the 9th to wrap it up for the Blue Jays as they salvage the 3rd and final game of this 3-game series in Boston.
Quick work by Casey Jansen, a couple of strikeouts, and then a long fly ball that Kevin Pillar hauls in right in front of that scoreboard. And Blue Jays needed this one. A couple of tough losses Friday and Saturday night here in Boston. They come back with a big one this afternoon thanks to R.A. Dickey, Jose Bautista, and Casey Jansen.
The Blue Jays have now homered in 11 straight. Bautista with his 31st. That's all R.A. Dickey would need for his 12th win of the season. Casey Jansen picks up the save. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. Cubs are in town at Rogers Center. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Let's go back to Baseball Central. Here's Greg Zahn and Jamie Campbell.